Welcome to the first podcast of What It Is to Live. I honestly forgot the title of our podcast. Oh my god. I swear to
I
fucking
could
god.
see it in your
The
face
first
and I
podcast,
was here
and I'm
for it.
fucking already fucking it up. Well, it makes good content for you guys, so it's fine. what, a,
It does. And it,
what
and
a
it'll
time
be
to be
something that we
alive.
can like look back
What
on
a
after
time to
we've
be
got
alive.
like
That's it.
yeah, there you go.
um,
It it will be something that we can look back on though and be like, "Oh, remember when we couldn't even
exactly.
remember the name of this thing?"
So,
Like, yeah, that'll be cool. I look forward to like
yeah,
this is like a video diaries type thing of like us just our friendship
yeah,
and everything.
exactly.
Like I think that'll be
So
really cool.
this, if you didn't watch the intro videos, I'm Tyler, and we
I'm
created a
Aspen.
YouTube channel called the Flundon Brothers, and we're just mostly using this channel to just kind of make whatever content we want to make. Um, yeah, just have
Yeah,
fun.
just have fun.
Hope that
That's what life
everyone
should be
else has
anyways,
fun,
you know?
especially in this day and age. Um, it's hard to find
Oh
fun.
my gosh, yeah.
So we're just hoping that will an extra
Yeah.
outlet to get away from the noise and bustle of the world.
Yes. Yeah. And just get to like exist in like I know one thing that I'm an introvert naturally, but during COVID I learned that like I actually do enjoy being around
Yeah.
people, but it has to like be on my terms and I learned that podcasts even if it's not like a this kind of where you can like see us and like kind of interact with us in this kind of way, even if it's just like listening, it makes you feel less alone and it gives you that like socialization experience without like draining that battery. And so it just became a real safe
Yeah.
haven for me
That
during
makes sense. I never really,
all of that. So,
if I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what happened during the pandemic. Everything, I, I remember going
it was a
into
whirlwind.
college in 2019 and then meeting Charlie in like October,
Oh
which,
gosh.
by the way, Charlie is my partner. I'm not gonna refer to him as my partner. I'm just gonna refer to him as Charlie. Whatever. But I remember
Once we know how to edit, we'll
I
put the little
remember meeting
asterisk
Charlie
partner.
in October of 2019, but then everything since then has been a blur, and all of a sudden we're in 2023. I'm fucking almost 23 years old now. I am, but at the time I'm almost 23 years old, and I still don't know what I'm
Yeah.
fucking doing with my life. So, COVID, we love it.
Yeah, and I feel like so we met when you were
Yeah, I was a
like
senior in
18. You
high
were like a
school.
senior in college. And we met at this dead end little job. Like neither one of us wanted to be there anytime, so we
Yeah.
just like fuck
I,
around and do stupid shit. And we got away with it a lot, but
I
you know,
remember
we had our fun.
you.
And then our fun extended
Yeah.
outside of work, and
I
that's when we would get
remember
in trouble.
we were on a phone call a few days ago, and you called me. You said
Oh
something
God.
like I was your bag boy or something like that, and I was like, "You will not say that."
So we worked
Yes.
at
Cool.
Smaris Meter, uh, because I don't want to get
Well,
sued.
don't talk shit about them.
But yeah, we worked at. Oh, I love talking shit
Not on the
about
podcast.
places. But that's
Good.
most of our friendships is doing that. But yeah, so we met there, and I just remember like you got stuck at the end of my line, and so we just kind of like because we're both naturally
Yeah,
kind of awkward people. We would just like I'd be like, oh, cheers, thanks. Like
I don't
this
remember
is really
that, but
awkward. Oh my God. Maybe it was just me then and maybe I just felt like super
well,
awkward and like I want to like be friendly, but I also don't want to
you
be
have to
like
remember my ADHD literally makes me not remember anything that I either don't need to remember or don't want to remember. And that was probably something I didn't need to
see my
remember.
ADHD is
So
the
my
opposite.
ADHD was like, okay,
if I don't need to remember it, if I don't have to remember it, I will remember it. But if it's like actually helpful information to have,
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna remember it. Like I still barely know the year that my mom was born. I like have to,
The
and I
mitochondria
can't
is
believe
the
I'm admitting
powerhouse of
this
the
on the
cell.
internet to who knows how many people. Well, see, we learned some things. But no, I literally the only way that I know my mom's birth year is because Harry Styles has his mom was born the same year,
Well,
and so he has it tattooed. I can't remember
yeah.
which side, like, but I think it's over here. And my mom was like, "Oh, that's the year I was born." And I was like, "Great,
Wait,
now I just have
hold
to think
on.
about Harry Styles
Your
naked, and I'll
mother and
remember
Harry
what year you were
Styles are the
born."
same age? Which I don't know. I don't.
My mother and Harry Styles'
Oh,
mom,
I thought you meant. I
like
thought
both
you
of our
said your
mothers are the
mother
same
and
age.
Harry Styles, and I was like, wait, what? Hold on.
And you're like, "Damn,
Well,
she does not look good for
well,
her
I was
age."
gonna say
Then,
you and Harry Styles, but then I was like, I'm the same way with Taylor Swift. So shout out to Harry Styles and Taylor Swift.
yeah,
You guys rock.
it's
So.
honestly iconic. We love them. It's so funny because I like see all the time on TikTok and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, every like Harry Styles person needs
Really?
their Swiftie bestie," and I feel like
No.
it just yeah. Have
So
you not seen? Maybe that's more of a like
maybe it
my
is
fandom
because
thing, but
I
yeah,
get a little bit of Haley content because of how they're linked, and especially because
yeah,
1989 is coming out again next Friday. And like I said,
yeah. Well, and I think
like
they're like she's
like
like
I told
slowly
you a
releasing
while
songs off
ago,
it. Yeah.
Styles is solely about Haley Styles. Um, well, and yes, you'll
Hmm.
collect. But we can get into that in a minute. So I get a little bit about hairstyles, but most of the time, what I get is stuff like a reputation uh, best friend needs a 1989 best friend or something like that. I never get the like, yeah, I
Oh
never
yeah,
get
we
the
have talked
a
about
Taylor
that.
Swift fan needs a Harry Styles fan or whatever like that.
See, I get more of the Taylor Swift and Harry fans, and I get a lot of the Louis and Harry. Like every Louis needs their Harry, and every like Harry needs their. I actually don't know what Niles fans are called, and I'm really embarrassed to say that because
Is it
Niall
bad
was
that I
always one of my
don't
favorite.
know
I
who you're
always knew that
talking
he was
about?
gonna go far.
I don't know who
Niall
that.
Horan, the Irish one
Oh,
in One
okay.
Direction.
I don't.
They're gonna
I'm
drag you
sorry.
to the depths of
I
hell.
never followed.
They're not.
I
I think
never
they're called
followed
Nilers.
One
I'm pretty sure.
Direction unless it was a huge headline, and everyone talk, everyone in the media
Fair
talks about
enough.
Zayn Malik, and that's it. No one talks about anyone else,
Listen,
which I will
listen.
say it's kind of that they only talk about one person, but at the same time,
And the only reason that they talk about him is because he got shat on for so long of like, and we're probably gonna have to bleep so much of this. Um, but like the only reason that they really talk about him is because the fans were so originally angry with him when he left. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was one of the fans that was like deeply hurt by the fact that he left. But obviously as you get older and as you get wiser and whatever, you kind of can see the
yeah.
toxicity of the. I'm sorry, my cat is about to jump
No,
down and join us.
she's
Um,
shaking the camera. I can see
but
that.
you can kind of see the I know, right? She's like, I gotta have my moment. No, but I mean, I think as we all got older, we just realized how toxic management was, how toxic the
Yeah,
music industry in general
which
is.
we talked about
Um,
that.
and so now I'm
Yeah,
like, good for you, Zane. You got out because he was struggling with like an eating disorder, and I know Liam was struggling with alcoholism and suicidal thoughts and
yeah.
ideation, and
Well,
he
wait.
there's that one famous picture of
Oh,
him like
okay. See, well, I
yeah.
mean, I already said I don't really follow. Excuse me. I don't really follow One Direction, so I didn't know. Well,
Yeah.
for one, I didn't know that he left. Um, and that people so mad about.
Mm.
That's how much I don't know about One Direction is the fact that I knew fans will. I knew that the media and the fans will like covering Zayn Malik every single day. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I didn't know that people were mad at him because he left One Direction. That's how like so
Yeah.
out of touch I am with
Yeah.
One Direction.
Well, One Direction was the first not like secular music that I ever listened to. Like to this day, I remember sitting in the very back of my closet with my like iPad that like my aunt and uncle had gotten me with like not my AirPods, but like whatever those
Yeah.
little earbuds were at the time, with like it down to the lowest possible volume and being like, I'm doing such a naughty thing. It was What Makes You
Now see,
Beautiful.
that's a
Like,
song I like. I will say I haven't listened to it in it's been years since I've listened to that song, but I
I
do
listen to it
like it.
every day.
Now, you could talk about One Direction for probably years and years. I could talk about Taylor Swift for years and years. So, I guess
Yeah.
you know,
My place is
oh,
haunted!
that wasn't your
Somebody
cat?
call Sam and Dean!
Oh,
No, my cat's
shit.
over here. That was like my Keurig, the like little
Yeah.
water container thing that you have on the side. I like put it
It
in,
came
but somehow
out? Okay, you either didn't put it in
yes.
correctly or someone had to.
No, I very
You
vividly
would
remember like
literally have to.
placing it in,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
would
been
have to
that way
literally
all
like pull
day.
that out. Oh my god, that's weird.
But that explains why my cat's been so fucking weird
Okay, I
recently.
will say you all on
Cause cats know.
Native American land.
Oh, I'm on
Exactly.
some of the most
So
cursed land, yes. Like, I'm not surprised. It just was a little bit like that was
yeah.
the most aggressive that they've
So
gotten, and I'm like,
I
I thought we
wouldn't
were
be
chill
surprised
homies.
if
Like,
you lived on an ancient burial ground and you just don't know it because that
oh, I
area
most
never got
certainly
excavated.
do.
There were,
I most certainly do.
yeah,
I the Not to like give out where I live, but like I live on not only
well,
like
you can
cursed
talk about
fucking
it
land,
without
but like
giving out where you live.
it's so bad that like people like tell you if you go up the road any further than this, you have a very high chance of like getting like
Oh,
some
really?
really
Yeah.
messed up things happening to you.
Yeah, because you live.
Yeah, like I'll tell you about this later, but like there was a situation
Wow,
that like
really?
I almost left.
Yeah, we're
And
definitely
I
gonna have to
love it
talk
here.
about that later.
We've had many
Um,
conversations.
because my
Yeah.
college that I recently graduated from was only 30 minutes from you, and you actually live. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all Cherokee land. Um, but
Well, it's actually funny because you literally are the reason that I live here because I
yeah,
came up for your
then I
graduation and I
fucking
never
went back
left.
to
Do you
where
know
I
what I mean?
live, so we trade places.
I know. And then it was literally we lived at
Yeah,
two opposite ends of the state and then we just switched places and it was
of
like,
course we would.
of course we would. Of
But
course we
like
would.
I actually at my college, I had genuine burial grounds that I knew exactly where they were. And I mean,
Yeah.
we as the school was being made, they excavated when they found the bodies. They didn't move them because, they didn't want to disturb the graves, but they made sure that
Which
they will secure so that nothing would ever happen to them.
yeah.
Because
Which
I
I feel
mean,
like that's
yeah,
a pretty respectful way to
you're
handle
supposed
that,
to do.
all
You're
things
not supposed
considering.
to disturb grave sites and move
Yeah.
graves. You're just supposed to
Yeah.
make sure that no one tramples over them, no one like messes with them, which is what they did. They kept them
Yeah.
exactly where they were, and they
Yeah.
made sure that the ground wouldn't like cave in on it, or that people couldn't
Yeah.
just go digging up the ground and like move the bodies and stuff. Because we
Yeah.
already did
Yeah.
terrible.
But
We've
also
already
we
done
both
terrible
are
things to Native
avid.
Americans. But let's not talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but to be fair, oh, I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
That
Hold
is,
on, give me a second. It'll come back to me. Oh my god, I hate it when this happens. Um, but to be fair, we are also
but
avid Supernatural
and I,
fans.
yeah, I one
So we're also, I'm gonna like put this out there, we're also more likely to be like,
I
oh god, get the salt.
1000% believe in demons, angels, ghosts, whatever.
See, there's no way because we don't know, we don't even know enough
But
about like the ocean. Like, we probably don't know
how
a
about
lot of
this?
animals that are
We
like
know more
actually
about space
existing.
than we know about our own damn ocean. That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
That's
I feel like that sums it up
absolutely
pretty
insane.
well. Yeah,
Because in
yeah,
the if you compare the oceans, all the oceans on Earth to the vastness of space, which by the way is still expanding. It's slowing down, but it's still expanding. Um, we know
which like
we
makes me
know
want to vomit the thought of that.
we
I
know
don't know why,
only
but that
a
makes me so
fraction
uncomfortable.
of like all the Earth's bodies of water all combined is such a minuscule amount of the vastness of space that you think we would know everything
Yeah,
about it by now, but we don't. And that's so crazy to me.
yeah,
Not to
and
mention,
which again, I feel like that's why there's, but also recently their government was like, oh yeah, aliens exist, and we were all
oh
just
yeah,
like, all
I
right.
watched.
Like, can we talk about that for a minute? Because like they were just like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, they
like,
exist, and we were all like,
well,
cool,
okay,
bro. Like,
so I have a
sure.
stance on aliens, and it's kind of the same stance Charlie, my partner, has. But my stance on aliens,
I thought we weren't gonna be calling him Charlie, my partner.
well, I'm
You know I gotta
whatever.
give you shit. You
Um,
know I gotta give you shit.
we give each other shit,
That
so
sibling bond
don't
that we
worry
have.
about it.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
I'm like your weird parent
um,
sibling thing. Yeah,
so I believe that
it's a long story.
so if aliens did come here, oh, if they have been here before, it was a while ago, for one. Um, and the same
Yeah,
thing. Another thing is that I actually recently started thinking is, and maybe it's just because I live in America and because I'm mostly subjected to only American media, but why is it that aliens
yeah.
only show up in America? Like that doesn't make sense to me. But another,
I
yeah,
mean, I have my own
um,
thoughts, but I'm gonna keep those for
okay.
after the
But
podcast.
another thing is if there will, if it's, I don't know why I keep saying if they'll, I firmly believe that there are aliens out there because even if you're a Christian or whatever religion and believe in one God, there's no possible way that statistically we are the only intelligent life in the vastness of space. And my other reasoning is
Yeah,
if there truly are aliens out there that can even look at us, like look at our planet and watch us, that means that they have
why
exactly.
the
That means
they
that
want to come here?
their intelligence is so high that they can easily get here with light. They probably have light speed technology and stuff like that. But also they would take one look at us and be
Yeah.
like, why would we deal with them? They're so primitive.
I also feel like they would just
I
enslave
mean,
us
maybe.
because like like I'm just gonna be so honest with you. Like I think they would just be like, you know what, you're not really worth anything, so we're just gonna make
Maybe.
you do
I
shit.
hope not, but
Like, and honestly, I don't blame them because as a society, we are just so
especially
far
looking at
from
America.
like
Um
decent people.
so
Hey, I was
society
nice.
is
I was so
100%
nice.
flawed. And that's not just in America. It's flawed
Yeah,
everywhere on this earth. This earth is flawed.
yeah,
Humans are flawed. It, that's just a simple statement.
yeah.
Um But like even then, I feel like aliens wouldn't even take the time to come here, enslave us, and either make us walk on this earth or bring us back to their home planet. I feel like they would just take one look at us and be like,
Yeah.
"Those are animals. Let's not."
Maybe we become pets, like that one guy on TikTok. Have you seen him? I absolutely love his videos. He like he does these basically when the aliens take over and the humans are the pets,
No,
and
I
it is
haven't seen that.
so it's the best. Remind me and I'll send you one of them later because I get him all the time and it makes me so happy whenever he pops up on my feed. And I wish I could remember his
Sorry.
name because he like if I'm having a bad day, I'll go watch a
Yeah.
couple of those and my day gets instantly
Oh,
better. It's just like, oh,
I'm
I
gonna.
love it.
Uh, I don't want to talk about it, but
You
I'm
would
going to
appreciate it.
anyway. I literally had a meltdown yesterday
Oh
from
God.
TikTok, and I'm not gonna go into
Oh,
details,
I
but
believe
it
it.
was essentially political TikTok. Um, I don't try. I don't
Political
try
TikTok
and be on
stresses me
political
out.
TikTok, but I am. But also at the same time, I would want people to be on political TikTok, especially because the next election is so crucial. But we're not going to get into that on this channel.
Yeah.
But so
Comment down below if you want us to
my
go into a
or
political channel.
even if you comment yes, I'm saying no. Um, if you
Yeah, no, I feel
my
like that would stress
my
us
like
out way too much.
full talks right now are political TikTok, animal TikTok, um, hot men TikTok, and Taylor Talk because Taylor
Oof.
Swift. Um,
We have very similar TikToks,
but
just
like, I
also
want a
very different.
political TikTok. As much as I love how it informs me on shit, I don't want it to be a TikTok. I want it to be a every once in a while I get a super important video, not a every other video is political
Yeah.
because that stresses me out.
Like, have you seen the Breaking Gay News guy? I love
I actually
him.
haven't seen him in a long while. I used to see him all the time, but he's disappeared off my
I
interest.
get him all the time and I love it. Because I always feel like he
Yeah,
like
he
gets
does.
straight to the point and he's like, this is what's happening. It and I love the way that he like styles it. I love that he's
Now that
passionate about it. Because there's several times where he's like breaking gay news, like this is
yeah,
actually really sad, and you can see that it's actually got him worked up. And I don't know why, but I think the fact that he cares about it so much makes me care. Like, obviously, we're both a part of the alphabet mafia. Like, we're,
legitibidiqua.
yep,
Legitibidiqua.
yeah, very much so. Um, but like, so obviously, like, we care about it, but it just, there's something that's so like warming my heart to see somebody else that cares so
Yeah.
much about our community. Like, and I think that's one thing that I do appreciate about our community. We have our whatevers, but like, we really
Mhm.
do stand behind each other, like, in the best possible way that we can. We're
LG
always, you know what I mean? And like,
yeah.
he just reminds me of that, and like, I
Now,
just love the
well, for one,
videos.
LGBTQ for president. Anyway, now that I think about it, he like complete. I mean, okay, I guess I am technically on gay TikTok or gay talk. Um, but I haven't seen him in. It's been at least a year since I've seen him, which I didn't block him or anything. I mean,
Really?
maybe I stopped liking his videos and commenting and stuff. Because I mean, while his content is good, now that I think about it, while his content is good and informing, I didn't like how like in your face it is. I get I
See, and I liked that because I felt like it got to the point. I felt like we were energetic when we
huh.
were supposed to be energetic. I felt like
Yeah,
the
I can
emotions
see
were being
that.
had.
I just
It can be a lot. It can be a
I
lot, but I
yeah, I
like
think
that.
that's well, I guess that's a characteristic of me is I am like in the middle of that because like I don't if you have no energy, I'm not gonna listen to you. But at the same time, if you have way too much energy,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tune out because it's just too much. And I think that's what happened is he just
Yeah.
has too much energy. Or they. I don't know what their pronouns are, so I don't want to offend anyone. But they
Look at us being woke
they
queens.
don't. It was just too white in my face, and it kind of maybe we talked about it earlier, but maybe I am autistic, and that's where the autistic came
Oh,
in.
I think we're
Um,
both so autistic,
for
and
the
we just don't
viewers,
want to admit
he
it.
knows he's autistic. I don't know if I am. I know
Oh
I
yeah.
am not diagnosed ADHD, but I do have some autistic tendencies. But I know that a lot of ADHD tendencies can translate to autistic tendencies, and they're
Yeah.
interchangeable. Um, so I haven't gotten tested for
Yeah.
um, autism, so I don't know if I'm autistic. If you want to tell
Well,
me
and the
if you
interesting thing
think I
is,
am, go
apparently,
ahead. But
baby, I've known you for 5 years. You're autistic as shit,
see,
and
he
that's why
thinks
we
I'm
vibe.
autistic, but I don't think I am.
And the fact that I'm autistic is the only
Exactly.
reason that I can
But
say
I
that to
don't
you
think I am.
because
I think it's just all my ADHD. But it could be wrong. Um,
I had the exact same thoughts before I like woke the fuck up and was like, oh yeah, no,
hmm,
I'm so
maybe in
autistic.
my next.
It'll just hit you one day out of the blue, and I look forward to that day
Well,
because you're gonna be like, we gotta film a
maybe.
podcast, and it'll be like a 5 minute segment, and it'll just be you being like, yep, you were right, I'm autistic as shit, and that'll be the
Well,
whole fucking
maybe my maybe
podcast.
my next doctor's appointment. I'll ask for. Well, I don't know if I have to go to a special. I probably have to go to a specialist for it. Um,
Probably, but I think you can get this like the process
okay.
started at your like
Um,
GP or like your PCP, which is the same thing, just
I was
depending
gonna
on what
mention
you call
something,
it.
but I can't remember what I was gonna mention. Uh, and I really wanted to mention it. Damn it. Um, we were talking about autism, and I can't remember. Um, it's and it. I mean, I guess it could be autism because I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was like a preteen, and your teenage years are when you change the most.
Oh,
Aside from when you're literally just born until you're
yeah,
like 3, your teenage years are like when you change the most. And I
yeah,
think I was diagnosed in middle school. And I
yeah.
even took Adderall for a little bit, and then
Oh wow.
I realized one day that the Adderall actually made my school grades worse because my parents did the whole thing where they were like, "Oh, you have ADHD. If you take medicine, your grades will improve." Kind of stereotype thing, which I know it works.
My parents tried that, and then because my parents actually listened to what I had to say about like I do not like the way that I feel on this medicine, and I'm very thankful for that. So like shout out mom and dad. Um,
They
but yeah, yeah,
if
because I also was
so
on Adderall and it did not work for me.
so at the time I thought so. Okay, I have a few points, but at the time, I thought Adderall was the only medication for ADHD. So one, I didn't go to my parents and be like, "Hey, can we try a new
Oh.
medication?" Um, so well, yeah, that's
But
why
also
I
you're in
didn't
middle
know that
school.
there was more medications than just Adderall because
Yeah.
I was a stupid middle school. I was a stupid middle schooler. Um, well,
Well,
uninformed.
not
How
even
about that?
that you were a stupid middle schooler. You've been given something by your
Yeah, I was
doctor
I
that's
was
supposed to help
uninformed
you and it's
and
not, then like what
yeah,
middle schooler is
whatever
going to be like,
that
is there another
confirmation
med?
bias type stuff is for like authority figures telling you something.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
so I thought that that was the only medication, and again, my parents used. I mean, I get that my parents wanted to help me, so I thank them for that. But at the same time,
Hmm.
they kind of just did the general, oh, if we get him on a medication, his grades will improve. Which I will say, maybe if I was on the correct medication, my grades would have improved. Um, but to be
Yeah.
fair, I already got A's and B's, so I thought that was good enough. And my parents were kind of in that you need to get all A's, but they also wouldn't be like super mad if I got B's. Um, so
Yeah.
that's another reason why I didn't tell them the Adderall wasn't working. But one day I figured out that the Adderall wasn't working, and as a matter of fact, it was actually making my grades worse. So, but instead of doing the correct thing and telling my parents, "Hey, this Adderall is making my grades worse. We need to either find a new medication or just take me off of any medication." I just stopped taking it one day, and it got to the point where my parents didn't even like ask me any. I can't remember if I don't think I ever told my parents I stopped taking Adderall, but at the same time, I never told them that, hey, the Adderall is making my grades worse. And then one day I just stopped taking it, and I think
Yeah.
I think my parents eventually knew that I wasn't taking it, but they just kind of were like, okay, yeah.
You figured it out. Yeah. Would medication be something that you would try again? Or do you think that you're to the point where you're like, I kind of know how to handle
Mm,
myself. I'll like figure it out. Because that's something I struggle with of like, would it be beneficial as an adult?
um,
You know what I mean?
well, if I'm gonna give like the answer I want, it's gonna be no. I'm not gonna try medication again. But
Yeah.
see, the thing is that again, there's more options than just Adderall. So I wouldn't be like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be opposed to trying different medication, but at the same time, my
Hmm.
while my ADHD can like impede me sometimes on some stuff, it's not like a life I shouldn't say life threatening, but it's not like it impedes me from I mean, I don't know how to phrase it correctly, but it doesn't it while it may impede me from doing everyday tasks, it won't impede me from living my life. So like I'm gonna be real with you
Yeah.
for a second. I have had a pile of clothes on the floor in my bedroom for I think today is either the second or third day, which my usual is I'll do laundry one day. Excuse me. I'll do laundry one day
Hmm.
and I will it'll sit in the hamper or like out on the bed and slash on the floor for like 1 or 2 days. And I think today is the third day, so I'm like my ADHD is really like going on it now, being like, no, don't put it away. It you're too
Lagging on
lazy for
that.
that right now. Um,
Yeah.
so it's stuff like that, but it's or like cleaning the kitchen. Sometimes I just don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't want to cook. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Laundry and dishes are the
Which is
worst things for me.
well, I'll get into that in a second. But that's the type of stuff my ADHD does. It's not like I mean, I guess it's technically impeding my life right now because right now I'm unemployed and I need to be searching for jobs and like putting myself out there. But sometimes, on most days, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I still have 2 interviews next week, so I'm still doing
Yeah.
something, but um, it's
Until then, you and I get to hang out, and because I recently messed up my leg, so
and
I'm
the
down for the
walk
count
that
for 8
will not be
weeks.
named
So
is kind of. Yeah, we're not getting into that
we're
right now.
not gonna get into that
We'll
this
get into that a
episode
podcast down the road.
because that we'll do that like podcast number 4, because when I tell you that that is such a complicated situation, and honestly it still hasn't even like fully resolved itself, like when I tell you that that is just so hectic and just so beyond, like I think you've gotten mad at the situation. I know I've gotten. I'm just at this point I can't help but laugh at it
it's
because the situation is so stupid. My best friend is ready to like drive up
it's
here
so
and like
stupid that I
beat
just.
somebody over the fucking
It's
head
really
with
like
like
once he explains it, it's so stupid that you'll laugh at it. And like I.
it's
Well,
yeah, at this point I think we're all just laughing at it because it's so ridiculous and
we
more than
literally
likely
we
so
talked about
illegal.
it on the phone for
But
like
like that,
5
we're not
hours
gonna get
one
into
day,
that. But
and
like,
it it's crazy. So it's to tune in to that
and here's
podcast
the best part is
because
I get it from
the
both
podcast where he
sides.
talks about that, it's gonna be a good podcast.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. Honestly, I think I might try to convince
Yeah.
my best friend to join us for that one if we can work that out, because I just want everyone to hear her side of it, because she's been like actively like on this journey with me. Um and because she's just so beyond over it. You're beyond over it, and you haven't even
I'm beyond
been
over it,
there for the
and
whole
I'm
like
beyond over
since
it, and
May.
I got like 3 hours of the whole situation. Like he
Yeah,
told
which is
me the
not even
current
all of
situation.
it. Like
So
it.
I only know
Oh
about
yeah, the current
current
situation.
situation
Yeah,
over
no.
like a 3 hour phone call. And I live right now I live like
Yeah,
3.5 to 4 hours away from him. So and I'm still over it.
yeah,
I don't even know all the details and I'm over it.
yeah. Like at this point, my grandmother, who's like in her 90s, is ready to come up here and beat some ass, which honestly I'd love to see because she's this like Southern Baptist little old lady, and I just the idea of her beating anyone up cracks me up. Um, but yeah, no, definitely tune into that one because that one
Yeah.
you're probably gonna like laugh until you piss yourself, because the amount of times that I like when we've talked about it, I've like genuinely just like almost laughed so hard that I've like almost pissed is insane. It's beyond. It really is. I have
Yeah.
no other words. It is just beyond. But yeah, no, I definitely tune in for that. But yeah, so that's kind of why we're like, you know
So
what, let's do something
well
different. Not different as in
so
like pick me, choose me, love me,
I'm
but like
not
do
gonna
something
go
different that we wouldn't normally do.
I'm not gonna go into detail about it because there was no reason for you guys, the audience, to know why each of us are doing this. But I just want you to know that me and Aspen and I, to be grammatically correct, for all you grammatic people out
There you go.
there,
Yeah, because you knew I was
for
gonna
all you
call you on
grammatic people
that.
out there, Aspen and I are doing this for like I mean, we're doing it for the same reasons, but at the same time, like our goals. I shouldn't say our goals because our goals are kind of the same. But the
Yeah,
reason we started it, that's yeah, the reason we started this channel is like
yeah,
complete 180 from each other. It's kind of funny. Um,
yeah. But also, I feel like
at
at
the
the
end
end
of the
of the
day,
day, we
we
have very
yeah
similar mindset of it. Of like, we just want to have fun and
yeah.
like see where this leads us, you know? And even if it doesn't lead anywhere, even if we're the only two people who watch this, well, let's be honest, we're gonna both make our partners watch it, and we're both probably
Actually,
gonna make
my
like a couple of
partner
our friends
was
watch it.
sorry.
But
Sorry. I have something stuck in my throat.
ooh, Did not need to know that.
Anyway, my partner's boss has already said that he will subscribe to this channel. So.
Oh, that's sweet. Hi, Charlie Boss. He's never gonna watch this. He just subscribed to be nice. And if you did subscribe to be nice, first of all, thank you. And if you actually do watch this, hi, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, at this point, I don't really care. I mean, I want you to subscribe. I want you to like. I want you to comment. But like, this is just something fun for us to do. And if you choose to engage, engage in all the ways you want to. If you choose not to engage, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks for stopping by.
That's all we want to do.
Fun while you were here, like, you know,
fun content for you guys.
Yeah. And also, again, I really do think it'll be cool to look back in a couple years and be like, "Oh my God, we were."
We'll look back at this when I'm 50 and be like, "What the fuck is wrong?"
Look how far we've come.
Exactly.
We're like, what drugs were we on again? All of them. Adderall.
I don't know why, but Supernatural came back in my head again. You mentioned it earlier. And for some reason it came back into my head again. I don't know why.
Supernatural, I actually got drunk as fuck with my best friend. And we decided to go to a Supernatural convention. Oh my God, I haven't even told you this yet.
Do you want to tell it on the podcast to the viewers before you tell me? Or while you tell me? Or do you want to tell me first?
Yeah, okay, it's not like I want to get your reaction on the podcast. I think you'll have a pretty cool reaction to it. And if not, we're gonna cut this out, and nobody will ever see this part.
True, but
that's the beauty of editing.
So we have different views on podcasts. Apparently, okay. He is. I mean, I'm okay with editing podcasts if it comes down to it, but like. I mean, true, but at the same time, I think that if any, I mean, out of everything we make, videos, vlogs, shorts, whatever else, gaming videos.
Yeah.
I think that vlogs. I know. I think that
I can't wait to do those.
For some reason, I just like it when podcasts are unedited over them being edited. Like, even with the longer periods of silence, I like hearing people's genuine reactions and like if people get stuck from going from one topic to the next, I like hearing that. Cuz I mean, it's like you've kind of talked about all you want, but either you have more time to talk, you have to talk for more time, or you just want to talk for more time. But you have a little lapse in like what do we talk about next?
Yeah, I guess most of the podcasts that I've watched have been, I'm not going to say scripted, but they've had like bullet points, if that makes sense. And if those bullet points kind of like seem to wander a little bit, they kind of like bring it back and be like, okay, we're back on that bullet point. So that's what I'm used to. And obviously we've had different podcasting experiences, which is really cool because I didn't know that was like a form of podcasting. Podcast, you know what I mean? I've always, Also, I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but my computer says it's on 0%, but we're still here. So if I do. But also it says it's
might want to make sure that
it's actually plugged in. Because I think this is kind of funny. It is, like, it's got the charging feature and everything. Also, don't judge me for not having a case on my phone. I have 2 cases. They just don't magnetize
he's gonna say that. I'm gonna say, don't judge my mic quality. This is literally a $40 mic. My co-host got cut out, so I guess that's where we're gonna end the podcast. So, thank you for watching this podcast. If you do, give it a like and comment your favorite thing we talked about, and also subscribe.